What's up, and welcome back to Gabe at Miller Music. Today I'm going to be testing out the Zoom MS-50G on a couple of synthesizers. This is a really well-known guitar multi-effects pedal, so it's got a ton of different effects loaded into it, and you can even layer multiple effects in this really affordable, tiny device. And so I want to put it through its paces on synthesizers and see if I can get some fantastic grit and aggression out of the Arturia MicroFreak and some kind of analog chorus pretty effects out of my Korg Minilogue. This was a fun session, a little more free form than I normally do, so grab a cup of coffee or matcha, sit back and enjoy testing this pedal out on a couple of synthesizers. All right, so I'm jumping into this without a ton of background knowledge. I've looked into just a tiny bit of how to use this thing, and then from there I'm just going to try to wing it. As you can hear, we've got an amp sim going, hence the very loud hiss. Let me try a different. Ew. That's not really doing it for me. Okie dokes. So how do you switch this out? T-Scream. Jeez. Ooh. I actually kind of like that one. Maybe rein that in a bit. Before. This one kind of slaps. I should quickly explain the setup I've got going here for those of you unfamiliar with the Innovation Circuit tracks. I am controlling my synth, the MicroFreak, via MIDI. And then the audio of the MicroFreak is getting sent into the Zoom pedal. The audio of the Zoom pedal is getting sent back into the circuit. So I can process this further. So let me make sure that this is a blank project. Put a kick in here. And then I can do stuff like sidechain this to the kick. Whoops. At this point, it's so low that it does start to break down a little bit, so I think that works a little better. What else do we got? So a bunch of guitar stuff, which I will proceed to mostly ignore. Ooh! Turn paraphonic back on. Go up a little bit. See, this is the kind of stuff that it would be cool to have baked into this. And a distortion. Because I know I have an extra LFO to work with, but this takes it even further. Here we go. Before. After. And maybe a little bit of reverb just in the circuit itself. See, that's really neat. This still skews fairly guitar-centric. Oh. This gives me an idea. What if we swap this dude out? We've got a bunch of compressors, but no, we're going for chaos. We'll go back to pretty sounds in a second. We're gonna need an amp on here and just absolutely ruin this. Whoa. That's a bit dissonant. Spooky. So that starts to break up a little bit. That brings it to life. This. Turn up the attack a bit. That's too much. This starts to get kind of chorusy. This is the kind of stuff that I really wish... Woo! It's a bit harsh. See, that's gorgeous. This versus warm and analog, really nice, really overrated. Cold and digital sometimes can be beautiful. When done on purpose. The flanger might be my favorite effect with this patch. That slaps. See, I need a different patch to go with the chorus. A little more virtual analog in nature. See, that's cool. Without? With. That is neat. Let me try this in paraphonic. That's a bit much. So that's as far as that goes, so anything else would have to happen before it. Did I just clip it in the thing itself? Let's turn that down a bit. Ooh. So that's two effects in a chain. Plus the reverb that the circuit is supplying. See, here's before the chorus. Here's after the chorus. Like, there's an obvious volume boost, but it does add some nice girth to the sound. Oh boy. Prepare your eardrums. Oh, that's the right patch for this. Yeah, that slaps. This reminds me of the cow effect in the OP1. Let me turn down that reverb. That's not synced to the tempo in the slightest. Let me go back to some of the earlier sounds I made on this. Ooh, a wub maybe? That actually takes distortion pretty well. I guess the sound needs to not be too over the top from the get-go. See, this one is actually kind of brought to life. I'm a fan of that one. Become filter. Where are you? Here we go. Set the frequency to something that sounds about right. for me. Go to this one, make that a distortion, and we've basically designed an entire new sound. Ow. Not sure how I feel about that, actually. See, that actually brings some grip back. If you don't push it too hard. I'm telling you, man, the fuzz one is pretty good. That actually lets the sounds exist without getting completely demolished. Getting back into guitar-centric territory again. Oh. And we have changed setups. I pushed the distortion MicroFreak combination as far as I think I can, at least without really diving in and designing a bunch of sounds. So I want to pivot a bit. Play around with some prettier sounds, or at least some more vintagey sounds. So what I really want in life right now is my chorus. This phaser is great. I like it. Turn that off for now, though. Ooh, plate reverb. That's kind of nice. Kind of shimmery. Kind of matches the harshness of this patch. Stack these effects. Okay. We're clipping a little bit. That's okay. Like, this is pretty harsh for something that you would want to sound all nice and warm and analog, but once again, I'm in the business of harsh sounds occasionally. As before. You can definitely tell that's analog. That's actually really pretty. Messed it up a little bit. Okay, this is the sound I really want to try the chorus on. So there's nothing? Yeah. Have that release. Before? Lovely sound. That, in my opinion, goes a long way towards bringing it to life. Like, it's a little more obvious that it's properly analog with no effects. But this just adds a new dimension to the sound that I really like. Let me turn that back off. Keep the chorus. Add the plate reverb. So that's just kind of haunting. Clipping, or at least there we go. So yeah, you definitely got to be careful with your gain staging. So that's cool. That's very cool. That's like the main thing I wanted to do with this, to be honest, is phasey stuff. It's the end of that sentence, actually. Stuff that plays with pitch warble and phase warble, like chorus, flangers, phasers. And then the other thing was distortions, but this is delivering on the phasey stuff much more than on the distorty stuff. Before? It's a nice sound. Gives me much more of a Blade Runner vibe. That's what this is great for, as it turns out. Well, that's interesting. A little bit of shimmer. I'm just here to make space noises. This has a mix knob. Why can't the distortions? So, here are my overall impressions of this pedal for synths. Like I've mentioned a few times in this video, the distortion is pretty hit or miss. Sometimes it just tries to turn something into a guitar, and it doesn't always distort stuff as cleanly as I would like, if that makes sense. Sometimes these patches take it really well, though. So it's a bit of a mixed bag. Sometimes it sounds great. Sometimes it sounds kind of janky, and I wouldn't really use it. What I really like is the stuff like the phaser, chorus, flanger, and some of the pitch warble stuff. That I can absolutely see myself using often, and that can really bring a sound to life. Oh, the plate reverb as well is lovely. So if you're trying to make pretty synth sounds, I think this is a good starting option. If you'd like to see me make pretty synth sounds with a much more expensive pedal, you can click or tap up over here. And if you'd like to see some synthesizer reviews, you can click or tap up over here. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll be back with a new video in a little bit.